I'm now in the exhibition area for the Serious Organised Acquisitive Crime Conference, and with Carl Williams and Mark Gleeson. Chief Superintendent Carl Williams, you lead on Opal and you've been playing a key role in this conference. Tell us a little bit more, please.
Yeah, the conference put together, bringing together all elements really of serious organised acquisitive crime, burglary, robbery, vehicle crime, agriculture, all 9 elements of serious organised acquisitive crime all together in one room, learning, kind of bringing everybody together.
And you've brought me to this particular stand within the exhibition area. Tell me a little more and introduce us, please, to Mark.
Brilliant. I've brought you to Aura. This is Mark. Mark is the regional director for the UK. Aura, brand new company, come into the UK. I say brand new. They operate really successfully in New Zealand. Mark will tell you a little bit more in a moment, but they've been one of our principal sponsors. We're really grateful for the SOAC conference.
Yeah, thanks, Carl. So Aura, we've been going for over about 10 years now. Headquartered in New Zealand, but a presence in New Zealand, Australia, the States, and like you just said, now in the UK, and honestly we're delighted to be here. We've most recently gone live with our first UK national retailer, which is tremendously exciting, building on some of that success that we've had in both New Zealand, Australia and the US market. So absolutely delighted to be here. Obviously retailers, working with retailers in tackling serious organised retail crime, enabling retailers to help themselves, but then most importantly bringing police onto the platform so that they collaborate with those retailers and that they can have a view of all of the crime that is going on within retailers. And unfortunately, as we know at the moment, that obviously with the state of the economy, that retail crime is on the rise. So it's all about tackling that.
Thank you very much. Okay, hi Martin. I know that PND has been a critical part of the fabric of policing for the last 12 years or so following the Bishard inquiry. Thanks very much for coming along. CGI play a critical role in providing PND for us. And can you give us a bit of an overview as to the capabilities of the system?
Yeah, I mean, PND stems from the Bishard inquiry and the death of the 2 girls in Soham. The first recommendation of the Bishard inquiry was the fact that the police don't have a national intel capability, so that's where it stems from. CGI actually won the contract to build the PND, so we design, build and we maintain the PND. And PND is about taking copies of data from all police forces and law enforcement agencies and making that data available for sharing nationally across the UK for purposes of investigation, also safeguarding and protecting the public. And it is part of the critical infrastructure of the policing community, and it should be used to its full extent because it's there to protect people, and that's what PND is all about.
Put you on the spot if I can. What have you got on the system then in terms of records?
Oh, well, so we have records that retain to people's arrests, crimes, general intelligence, but also crime prevention, information that relates to domestic abuse and also child abuse as well. We also hold information about organised crime groups as well, and also modern slavery. It's not just about the suspects or the criminal fraternity either. We do have some information about victims, and that's about the police service knowing that there's a victim there so they can stop that victim becoming a repeat victim. Records wise, over 5 billion records of the PND. We actually update the PND roughly. We update probably 1.4 million records every day. Fantastic. To keep that data live.
Lovely, thank you very much, and thanks for all your support.
Nice pleasure.
I brought you over to Detertech, formerly known as Smart Water. We do a huge amount of work with Detertech, not only in the kind of finding who our offenders are, but actually prevention work. I brought you over to see Rachel Oakley with Detertech, so over to you.
Thank you, Carl. So Detertech, as Carl said, formerly Smart Water, but has become a much greater group in recent years. So we now also offer PID solutions, which are our Daleks, and our a 360-degree camera. We also obviously do the Smart Water, which is forensic marking product, which we work very closely with the police on. And then finally, crime intelligence, which is the majority of the work that we do for serious and organised acquisitive crime with Opal, looking at where emerging patterns and trends are, and then providing a series of reports out to law enforcement and also commercial entities as well, just really letting them know where crime is at its highest and where the most risk is.
Yeah, Simon Duffield from Humberside Police, working as an intelligence manager on the south bank of Humberside. I'm here at the Serious Organised and Acquisitive Crime Conference 2022. For me, it's one of the first conferences of this type that I've attended, and really the purpose of me attending was to pick up national best practice across the areas of organised acquisitive crime, and feed that back to not only my team but my force. So my team consists of analysts, researchers and police officers, and there's lots of things that I've picked up over the course of the last 2 days, particularly around the subject of PND and facial recognition, but also feedback some national best practice around crime types such as rural and heritage crime to my senior leaders within investigation, and see if we can implement some of that national best practice within homicide.
Hi, my name's Tom Chisholm. I'm the Head of Specialist Crime for Staffordshire Police. So it's the first time at the conference. Clearly policing, the landscape's changed quite a lot, certainly in my service. We used to be very much into burglary and vehicle theft. I think over the last 15-20 years that's waned quite a bit. It's quite rightly we've moved into looking at vulnerability. So it's good to come here really just to start putting things around burglary and that sort of serious organised acquisitive crime back on the radar. So made some really good connections here. There's some really good tactical advice that I'll be taking away back to force just to see how we can improve the sort of standards of service that we give to victims of serious acquisitive crime, but also how we can connect. So I think it's a really good start, really good conference, and I'll be back next year.
The conference has been really interesting today. We've covered quite a lot of stuff: rural crime team, the wildlife stuff, heritage crime, and the burglary was very interesting. I'm looking forward to taking that back to my force. I've got an awful lot of information to take back, so that'll be good.
I'm thoroughly enjoying the conference. It's been very informative, lots of different content and subjects. I'd be excited to feed back everything I've learned to the rest of my team, and the speakers have been excellent from a variety of backgrounds, and like I said, lots of informative sessions.
I want to thank everybody. It's been a hugely successful conference here today, and thank you to all of the Opal team, without whom we could never have put all this together. As head of Opal and the person that's been overseeing this on behalf of DCC, Amanda Blakeman, thank you to all of the contributors, for our sponsors, for all your efforts and for coming to Cardiff to join us for this conference. I'll leave the last word now over to DCC Amanda Blakeman.
So we've had a real opportunity to listen to and gain a real understanding from the contributors, from burglary to wildlife and rural crime to vehicle crime, right across the broad spectrum, and to understand exactly how acquisitive crime is connected. What we've also seen is some excellent opportunities to be able to prevent, detect and deter this sort of criminality happening. One of the running themes throughout this has been the use of Police National Database and the effectiveness of facial matching, where we've seen and heard from our wildlife crime team about how they've used that important tool to identify offenders, and we've also heard about that in our burglary section as well, from the use of ring doorbells, etc. So we've got some really good opportunities to connect really intuitive parts of our business together in order to be able to work collectively to start to prevent this wholesale problem. And I think that's where the real opportunities of coming together as a group of individuals, all of whom have a vested interest in their particular area of acquisitive crime, to explain what they've been doing, what sort of industry partners they've been working with, what commercial partners they've been working with, and the communities they've been working with, and connect that all together. So, we're able to see good initiatives like We Don't Buy Crime, where forensic smart water technology is used, right across to the use of national databases to be able to understand that criminality in its largest sense and connect that picture together.